Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of StarCrafting. This game is a match between Dragon and Send. Dragon spawning as Dragon over on the right side. Just joking, he's the red Terran. See how I tricked you there? And then over here we have Send spawning as the blue Send. He's also a Terran. God, you guys are so gullible. Anyway, this is a TVT on the Antigua shipyards. Yeah, every time I see this minimap, I call it scrapyards because it's the same tile set, but I know what scrapyards is. It's that U-shaped one that got banned. I know. Don't worry about it. It's okay. We can still be friends. Opening the production tab for you. Dragon just started using, for shits and giggles, the siege tank stacking bug. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but you like wall a small area off like right here with siege with supply depots or something, or buildings or whatever. You make a tiny space right here and you stack siege tanks on top of each other, and it forces them off the edge of the map, and then you can like into this dead space here that you can't be in, and you can drive the tank all the way around here and siege up over here and shoot their mineral line from nowhere. And like the tank on some maps just doesn't even exist. It's so weird, and you can't target it, you can't fight back. So that's awesome. Anyway, it's hilarious, and Dragon was doing it on his live stream the other day, and I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, Dragon is a Korean fella, and most of you guys should know him because he's been pretty popular the last little while. His live stream's pretty popular as well, and I'm not really familiar with his playstyle. I've never cast one of his games before, so you guys, you'll see it with me. We'll go through it together, and we'll try to understand the way he plays. And I'll remember it for next time, right? Because I never remember people's playstyles until I've like actually cast a game of theirs, and then I never forget. So this is the learning game. And this game was sent to me actually by one of our viewers. His name is Sleeper, or ZZZZZZZZZER. And I'm really glad because there seems to be a lack of replays floating around on the internet, at least recent ones. And I don't know why. I don't know what's going on, but Gosu Gamers has not had a replay, like a new one, in months, okay? It's been really weird, and a lot of other replay sites are doing the same thing. It almost seems like they're trying to drown out like lower known casters like myself by kind of monopolizing on the replay pool, and it's a little bit frightening, but we'll see how this goes. We'll see how many replays I can get in the future. If you guys find good ones, you send them my way and I will cast them. Send them to starcraftincreplays@gmail.com. Yeah. Okay, so we're seeing that fast expand from Send. It is a 1 Rax off the Tech Lab barracks, which is a good, safe way to play. And we do have a Reaper. I saw the Tech Lab and I was like, there must be a Reaper somewhere. It's the only way to play. And I wonder if... Okay. We've only got 1 Marine for Dragon, and that's pretty ballsy. I'm not sure if a Marine can take a Reaper. I don't think he can. But let's see what DPS. No. Marine cannot even close to take a Reaper. But there are 3 Marines. Hello. Whew. Oh, 30 damage to building. Oh, he could maybe take a. Okay. Yeah, he could maybe take. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what goes on. But there's enough Marines now. It's not a big deal. Their range. I don't even know what the Reaper's doing here. It's just kind of chilling. It's like scouting. But there are going to be a bunch of Marines pushing out here. Reaper's going to see that. He's going to be like, oh noes. And the Marines back up because, well, there's a Reaper. And so he's going to build the command center up here rather than down here. I think originally he was going to build the command center right here. And he backs up because I don't think he really wanted Send to see what his Marine count was like. Over here, Send is going in the 1-1-1 direction, getting his starport, and we also see Dragon doing the same. Dragon's beaten him to it, getting a Raven already, and he's beaten him to it because he hasn't taken that expand. So he's going to sacrifice long-term economy for early tech, but he just expanded as well, and we'll see how that really affects the long term of the game. As Send is expanded early, His economy is kicking in. He's caught up in tech. He's getting a Raven as well. So we're seeing both players do pretty much the exact same thing. However, I don't see... Well, we're finally getting a tank for Dragon. I was going to say, I don't see a tank for Dragon. Not getting Siege Tech. And Send not getting Siege Tech either. Oh, wait. Just as I said it, he's getting Siege Tech. And there it is. Oh my god, I'm tired. I just had the longest zombie apocalypse dream I've ever had in my life. And I have lots. I do. I dream about them like nightly. Like normal kids, naked women, and girls at school. But me, and zombie apocalypse every night. I don't get it. I think I'm predicting the future and planning it out in my head. Appreciate it, bro. Okay, so we just saw a pause, but we didn't see a pause because the replay thing doesn't show that, doesn't send that information. One of the things, guys, that I want you to notice is how little both players are really getting in terms of army. And the only reason they can do that is because of their very strong ability to scout. And you'll notice he gets the Viking for anti-air capability, and just in case he goes into the direction of Siege Tech, and then the Viking really helps him get air superiority and range with his Siege Tanks. However, his opponent's the only one with Siege Tech, and that the Viking here will help him fight the Banshee, which is good. And the Raven helps him detect the Cloak. There's a Raven here as well. Siege Tanks going up. Now, I would say that Dragon is in trouble if he tries to push here. The Siege Tech is going to screw him up. Oh my god. Dragon, no! We got, wow. That actually went pretty well for him. Certainly not as bad as I thought it would have. And holy ballsack. So Dragon knows this matchup a little better than me, clearly. And I did not think that would work. Siege Tech is not paying off for Send. And Send's actually, oh god, picking up the medevacs, the tanks and the medevac. Very nice. Saving their lives. There's one here with no health. Tanks picking away at these SCVs, and this is where we'll see the effects of taking expansion a little bit later. Send obviously took his expansion later, and that allowed him to get more units first. So what we saw come out of that was him be able to timing push his opponent and punish him for his expansion, but Send is not going to be phased by it. He traded armies pretty evenly with his opponent, so he knows a counterattack wouldn't come that would be too overwhelming. As you can see, the supply is 64 to 67, so he is expanding and taking his third, which, you know, he just lost his army, but it's not dangerous to do because he knows his opponent lost his army as well. I hope you guys are following. It was an even trade, so in the time that Send can rebuild, he knows that Dragon can't get much more. And Dragon, thinking around the same guidelines, even though I lost my army in an attack, I know my opponent can't rebuild his much faster, so I can expand. But remember that if Send did not expand, he would have a bigger army than Dragon. So in a way, both these players taking a little bit of a risk doing that. But it isn't a terrible time. And Dragon will be pushing to the tower with a small task force, getting some free kills, because I mean every Marine counts. And there's just a lot of DPS in Marines to not think it matters. So, we kind of a standoff here. I might actually zip through it a little bit. If you take a look at the production tab, we've got a lot of tech on the way for Dragon. We're getting air upgrades, vehicle upgrades, my bad. And gonna do a little bit of an attack from the low ground just to get that supply depot, which is just a clever pick-off, in my opinion. Very opportunistic. I like it. And getting the gas at this base but has no expansion there, that one's a little strange to me. I guess he wants that gas as soon as that command center's done. And he's really spitting out the siege tank count now, getting the Vikings, getting the Marine tank Vikings so good at TVT. Holy ballsack. And we're not seeing the same Viking count from Send. On the infantry upgrades, we're not seeing anything. And on the tank upgrades for Send, we're not seeing anything. So there's still a clean slate as far as Marine versus tank goes. We don't have combat shields for the Marines either, so that's interesting. Scan goes down right on top of Dragon, and he's feeling a little bit nervous about pushing forward with that scan. And Send is going over here to protect his third. He does not want that to be a free kill, and I'm surprised that Dragon isn't thinking about testing. Oh dear, that's a free tank on the high ground. That's free production on the high ground. Vikings are so good for this shit, guys. And he's gonna get a free Viking there, picking it up as it comes out of the starport. Yeah, starport, Stargate. I was like mixing up my words for a second. I was like, Jesus, what did I say? Did I say the right one? Did I? And then I realized that I did. And all was good in the world. So, Dragon sitting in the bottom of this little lip here, sitting on the low ground, and just kind of destroying Send's base. I'm surprised Send didn't bother picking up and moving. I mean, you can do that as Terran. But I think Send is really focusing on how he can, he's being patient here. I like that a lot. He knows he can't push into this siege tank void. And Dragon, I think, feels he's done the damage he needs to, and he's going to back up. He's going to secure this expansion and continue to mine from it. He's taking this fourth. He's got this fourth a while ago now, and it's a PF now, which is interesting. I guess he's decided he has enough mules off 3 orbitals. But this is remote. Hold on. This is a remote expansion, so a PF is probably a good choice. Yeah, yum. Yummity yummity yum. And actually, I want to take a look at the units lost tab. We're seeing quite the advantage for Dragon. He's definitely winning this game in terms of who lost what. But in terms of current army, I'm not sure how Dragon fares. His siege mode's a little late, but here we go. Trying to get that to kick in even a little bit. Dragon may have lost the game in that split second, but these trailing siege tanks could help him. And a few shots go off for these ones. These ones are a little bit far back, in my opinion. Getting a nice wave off on those Marines. Couple tanks sieging up for Send. And Vikings landing for Send right in the siege tank line. Dragon's SCVs have to run. I don't know why they're trying to fight the Vikings. And the siege tanks just obliterate those Marines. Alright, those SCVs I mean. And more SCVs being pulled off the line for Dragon. This is Send's pushback. This is Send's thank you card for what Dragon has been doing all game. And really, I don't understand how Send has pulled him back into this position. But Dragon doesn't really know what to do about it, I don't think. He's sitting here right on the edge of that siege tank line, right on the cusp of letting his shit die. And he has to just sit here and watch as Send pulls his base apart. He can't push forward. Send knows where the tanks are because of that Viking. And really, Dragon just needs to be really careful. He can't push forward. The Vikings will allow optimum range for Send's tanks. And so Dragon has no advantage here. He needs to sit patiently. A bunch of Marines have forced Dragon's expansion to lift off. This PF is his third base now. So, Dragon is not behind, not at all, and he's got this orbital that is going to allow him to pump more mules than his opponent once it lands. But the Vikings picking it up while it's in the air, and this is terrible for Dragon. But, like I said, he's still got this third base. And in the midst of everything, Dragon is taking a 5th command center. And he's really confident that he can hold this push, I guess, with these tanks. I don't know what he's thinking, but it's quite the situation he's got himself into. These Marines are kind of free-reigning through the base. Dragon has some Vikings supported by SCVs, so they will be able to take any Vikings from Send because they can repair. But even so, Dragon pulling them back for some reason. I guess it's because the Marines on the ground. And the SCVs are actually going to go fight the Marines in the choke. Why did Dragon do that? Well, the Vikings kind of combat each other in the air, but the ones from Send will win that fight, and Dragon forced to lift this command center as well. The starport going down for Dragon, and that's terrible. He needs that Viking production. There we go, we do see the liftoff finally, and a Viking goes down for Send to 2 Vikings by Dragon. This TVT is going into something pretty intense. I don't know which player is going to pull out ahead. Lots of units coming up the ramp for Sen, but is he giving up his lead? I think he might be. Tanks on the high ground, picking apart everything on the ramp for Sen, and a couple Marines get right in on top of the tanks. Dragon might be out of this game. I don't know what to say, guys. I really don't know how to feel. SCV is repairing the tanks for Dragon, trying to hold in here as long as he can. Dragon doing amazing. Vikings landing on the tanks. A single tank stepped forward to take pot shots at this one on the high ground. And Dragon, in the midst of all that, holds on to this base and acquires this base. That is what held him in this game. That is why he is still alive. And it looks like Sen is going down here to check for these expansions. Maybe. What is his plan for going down here? I think it is to check for this expansion, as he knows that command center was floating around. There's siege tanks here that are going to shell the hell out of Sen's army, and a PF here that will deny any more reinforcements as well. He's got to saturate this. He's got to get it rolling. And it looks like Sen is ready to push again and long distance mining the Gold Expo until this command center can get down there. And if Sen takes that Gold Expo, I would say that Dragon is going to start having to worry. We've seen Sen pretty much mine out his natural and almost mine, not even close to mine out this. So he's pretty much on one mining base. He's double expanded though, actually, and taking this one as well. So quite the aggressive expand from Sen. Dragon gonna retake this and try to mine the last bit of minerals out of here. And I think this one would have been better to take though, as it does have more minerals to mine. And man, this is a big army from Sen, and I don't feel like Dragon has what he needs to defend it. This PF will help a little bit, but not against siege tanks in siege mode. A bunch of Vikings, man. It looks like we're seeing Sen switch into some kind of air mode. I'd love to see him go. Oh no! Holy shit! Oh my god! Dragon lost all those Vikings for free! Oh my god! And now we're seeing Sen pummel away on this expansion here. Dragon, he's got tanks! He's got tanks! They're close enough! They're gonna shell the hell out of these tanks. And Dragon, I think, can hold this now that he's got tanks. The Marines are getting too close to the PF, and the PF's starting to kill Marines. Tanks clean those up as well. And I think that was a mistake for Sen. So I think the whole Viking thing has evened itself out now. That was a huge mistake for Sen, putting his army in on that PF. And Dragon's going to lose one tank, but ultimately he's fended off this push. Going to clean up the last of those Marines here. A couple Vikings still in the air, providing longer range for this single tank. I think Dragon could push into that if he removed himself from siege mode and cleared that single tank. However, it is now being reinforced by more units. We've got Thor here for Sen and Marines, along with those Vikings that have always been a part of this game. He needs to make this an orbital and start pumping economy from that. There we go. He catches it now and starts working away. More tanks from Dragon. There are a lot of tanks. He's taking another command center, likely for this space here. And we are seeing a continued push from Sen against this PF, trying to bring it down. The Planetary Fortress was a good choice. It has defended itself very nicely, and ultimately Sen cannot push forward onto it. We see Dragon pushing forward with those tanks again. These tanks have the range advantage, but they're focus firing on the PF, and ultimately Sen wasn't watching, so Dragon got the first shot there. Sen really needs to watch those tanks, because if they're focus firing, they won't automatically change targets, and we're seeing Dragon one at a time just snipe those off the ground. And a scan goes down to give the tanks their maximum range, picking off that last tank. And over here, we do see Sen taking that Gold Expo, and that's a big deal. Look at the production, my god. This looks like something in a fastest map possible from Brood War, man. And battle cruisers. Battle cruisers. Oh my god, yes. And we're seeing a lot of Vikings from Dragon. I think he kind of knows that's coming. Just a little bit. And really, I don't know what to tell you guys. We're seeing another orbital over here, and he's really got the means to pay for those battle cruisers, and he's getting the Yamato cannon, so sniping Vikings out of the air won't be a big deal. Drinking. And I mean, just with the pure number of BCs, I don't even feel that like a lot of Vikings will be able to swat them out of the air. He's producing holy shit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 BCs at a time. And Dragon's only producing 2 Vikings at a time. And siege tanks obliterating Sen's army. What is Sen doing? Losing everything he had on the ground. I think Send is just trying to free up supply. He says, never mind, I don't want Marine Thor. I'm just going to get a lot of BCs. Getting Vikings in the air with them, the air production for Send is just astounding. And Dragon doesn't have anything remotely near enough to deal with it. A couple missile turrets here for Dragon. Good placement as well. I like where that is. Sorry. And we do have Dragon pushing into this Gold Expo, killing all the SCVs, and that's a great pickup for him. He really needed that, but he's going to lose all of these tanks, these BCs, and there's nothing he can do about it. He's got to at least focus down that orbital in time, but no, the orbital lifts off, and here's the battle cruiser reveal. Dragon has officially seen the beast he's against, and he's got to get more Vikings. He's getting 4 right now. He's getting Terran vehicle weapons 3. I don't know why. He's getting Thor. I guess that's why. And more missile turrets on the way. A single missile turret on the ground saying, "You can't hurt me." And he lied, obviously, because, you know, we just saw him get hurt. And Dragon coming up here to try and do something, but he knows he can't do much. He's going to try to range snipe everything here down. He needs to kill those Vikings. It's the only way he can fight the battle cruisers, if he kills the Vikings. And now those battle cruisers are a little bit free as the Viking support is becoming minimal. Getting, oh yes, every battle cruiser he kills is so huge. There is a Thor here taking shots. The Vikings are now free to kill those battle cruisers as they deal with the Thor. If anything, the Thor is fodder. And those battle cruisers might not make it away. What do we have over here? Tanks roaming the map, doing their thing. And this is how you deal with battle cruisers. Remember, battle cruisers are a little bit faster than they used to be, but they are no match for Vikings. That's all there is to it. These Vikings can now straight up fight the battle cruisers. They don't even have to kite them anymore, but those battle cruisers do have pretty nice upgrades on them. And we just saw Sen lose everything. And so Dragon holding on to this game with mass Vikings. This game has transitioned beautifully. I couldn't have asked for a better TVT, to be honest. Started out a little bit rocky. I guess I could ask for a cooler start. They just kind of stood around for a while, poked at each other's supply depots, but right now we are in some pretty interesting mess. And I'm not a Terran player. I don't pretend to know what either of these players should do at this point. Late game Terran is not my forte, but we are in for a ride, ladies and gentlemen. I don't claim to be an analytical commentator, but I do enjoy watching StarCraft. I do enjoy casting. We're going to enjoy this game together. And we've got a lot of Marines on the ground. Holy shit. Oh my god. And one tank is not enough to fold those. He had so many tanks before, and now his ground army is kind of lacking. The transition to Marines from Send was beautiful. Very well played. I mean, I don't know what Dragon can do at this point. This Thor is running for its life. Goes down to mass Marine. There is nothing it could do. And they're going to push into Dragon's little expansion here and take it down very easily. No word about it. He needs more tanks again. And finally he is getting some more. But this is a big army. And there's lots of Vikings in the air once again for Send. Send going to push into this base and easily kill it as well. Dragon has to be patient. He's going to come over here and land here, take out all of this production potentially. Just going to let it roll. Going to get the expansion, going to get the production, and that's beautiful. I mean, Send's way over here, but there's really nothing left here for Dragon. Nothing that he needs. He's spitting out a few more tanks that are going to be cloaked in the smoke, and will start taking free shots at Marines, which, oh my god, beautiful placement for Dragon. He needs to siege up that second one for some extra damage before, there we go, before the Marines find them. But now the Marines are right on top, and they're getting what they want. And that was a sex joke all over. But all that air production for Send goes down immediately, and Send will lift off his Vikings and come down here to, you know, affirm this pickup he's just got. Oh my god, so much production. I feel like Dragon could really go over here and pick off some of this as well. And if he got those, this game would be over. If he picked off these production facilities once he defeated this army, which I truly believe he can if he gets some more siege tanks. Thor is his choice, though. I don't know if I agree with that. Honestly, between the battlecruisers and the Vikings, it's the Marines I'm really worried about. And I know someone's going to accuse me of not really knowing how those sentences work. Between the battlecruisers and the Vikings, I think I'll take the ice cream. But yes, we do see a big death ball army, and what I'm worried about here most is the Marines. They kind of are the cement between the bricks that are the the battlecruisers and the Vikings. Those are two big hitters, two heavy bricks you don't want to get slapped with. And the Marines are that mortar that makes it a wall that is going to fall on your ass. And no, don't lose your Vikings like you did before. What the fuck, Dragon? Oh my god. Sending a few Vikings ahead, which could have been bad for him, but he did manage to pull those back in time. And we do see those tanks coming out for Dragon now, which I'm glad he just decided to go for that. And the Thor will help him with the Marines, and they'll kind of double as assistance against the battlecruisers. Oh my god, Send finding this base, and Dragon needs to do something about this. He needs to stop this army from tearing him apart. And the battlecruisers are, there's not many of them. Siege tank's gonna siege up. This is bait. The army coming here for, oh my god, the siege tanks are by themselves. They're free, and with the Thor's help, the Vikings for Dragon can easily take the ones for Send. Can you tell I'm cheering for Dragon? I really am. I'm cheering for Dragon. I mean, this is a TVT. There's no race bias here. I just think Dragon is the coolest. So Dragon is, you know, he's pulling back. I love that setup. He needs to siege up here if he's going to get any closer to Send. He needs, oh my god, that could have been bad. If Send took like 2 steps to the right, he would have been right on top of Dragon with no siege. And Send has a base right here. Oh my god. And oh dear. Send is going to pincer Dragon, and Dragon needs to get his shit out of there. He needs to get the Thors over back behind the tanks. Beautiful. Now it's done. Thors need to come forward and help deal with the Vikings on the ground. There's too many siege tanks for those Marines. There are just too many siege tanks for this Marines. Send is going to lose this game right here in this moment. Even if the tanks go down, there's Thor and there's Vikings that will land. And oh my god, yes, Dragon has this game in the bag. This was Send's mistake, sending his army in here like that against that many tanks. And here we go. That worst day of that battlecruiser's life, but an ultimate stand against that Thor right before he went down. And Dragon's Vikings have saved him this game, landing on the ground before they engage this base because he does not want to get picked apart by the missile turrets. Send's army is transitioning into a more Thor-heavy build, and it will be difficult for the Vikings to take that. He needs more tanks once again, and I don't really see Dragon getting too much more out of his production. He's got a few more Thors, 1 more tank, and I feel like Send is outproducing Dragon. But Dragon is really, you know, he's holding his own. He's playing this so well. Every time he's down, he pulls himself back in. And I feel like he's been doing more with his army the whole time. Taking a look at that units lost tab one more time, Dragon is actually losing more resources than Send is in these engagements. So I'm wrong, but it hasn't looked that way to me. I really think the biggest loss for Dragon this whole game was that moment with the Vikings. That was just awful. But Send here plowing through Dragon's army. I don't even think Dragon should have engaged without like his mass number of siege tanks. And here we go. His siege tanks are setting up over here. Will Send push into it? I think if Send does, he will be in trouble against the number of Thor that Dragon has here. Plus, if Marines join, SCVs join the engagement, these Thor won't be able to push through. More tanks coming, SCVs coming to repair. There we go. These Thor for Dragon will stand with SCV support. And siege tanks shelling on Sens, but the vehicle upgrades for Sen must be incredible. We've got 3 weapons for vehicles, and wow, there's really nothing here. It seems like Sen's Thor did a lot more damage than Dragon's Thor did, but I guess I'm wrong. I guess I'm not really sure what's going on. Anyway, taking the Gold Expo for Dragon, good choice, I think. And now that that's on the ground, these siege tanks will be of great use. Oh my god. So Dragon's gonna have a little bit of trouble taking this with those siege tanks there. Not really sure how he plans to deal with it. He's got the Viking in the air, so he's got maximum range. Scan goes down to make sure the first shot goes off. And yeah, cleans up those tanks nicely. Man, Dragon kicking ass and taking names. Fucking baller. He's at 97 supply to 74. I'm not taking a shit, I'm just stretching. Man, that is in the back of my head now. Everybody says, you sound like you're taking a shit when you cast. Well, fuck you, okay? I'm just joking. We can all be friends. We can take shits together if that's really what you're after. And, Send is, he's got a Thor that's kind of like, turns out I have guns for arms. This is unfortunate, as I need to stretch. And, yeah, kind of a lockdown here on the Gold Expo. And, wow, over here on the left, we have Dragon peeling apart a base for Send, which is exactly what he needs right now. He needs to deny mining, and after that base is picked up, that's game. Send can't do anything. He's out of mining bases, and there's no way he can take another one with this kind of map control that Dragon's packing right now. Send cannot push back this expansion with all the tanks that Dragon has. And I think we're going to see those tanks with Hellions push right up on top of those siege tanks. That's funny. Interesting. And Send, not even a GG. What the hell? That was a good game. Oh my god, what an asshat. Alright, Dragon, you played fucking well. Anyway, guys, I'm Assassin Incarnum, Dozer, Sleeper, whatever you want to call yourself with all those Z's. Thank you for sending me this replay. It was freaking awesome, and I can't find any on my own right now. And I'll see you guys next time. Guys, check out our Facebook. I'll put a link in the description. Go be our friend. Okay? Thanks. Bye.